Our next speaker, his name is Michael Gould, a 13-year employee with the state of North Carolina and currently a probation and parole officer in Wake County. Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dana. It's a wonderful afternoon to be an American. And before I start the words that I've prepared for you, let's send a message to our brothers and sisters in Wisconsin, Ohio, New Jersey, and throughout the country. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Dr. Martin Luther King once said, "Justice denied anywhere is a threat to justice denied everywhere." Sadly, we are seeing this attempt to deny justice not in some far-off land like Libya or Tunisia or Egypt, but right here in the United States. Yet we have seen this before from our founding fathers, who declared that blacks were only seen as 3/5 of a human, to the fear and the intimidation of the Ku Klux Klan, to the internment of Japanese Americans after the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Brothers and sisters, working families are under attack. The conservative politicians and their wealthy contributors have declared war on the middle class. I'm extremely honored to be here this afternoon. However, the real heroes of this rally are the hardworking men and women of today that could not be here right now. They're serving in every community across this country. Right now, they're patrolling our neighborhoods, responding to fires that threaten property and claim lives. Maybe they're a nurse working on a cancer ward, trying to console a child and his or her family as the painful chemo treatment is preparing to go through the child's veins. Maybe it's a teacher who, instead of being with us today, had to sit home to grade tests or reports or to prepare that college recommendation for your son or your daughter. If the past several weeks have taught us anything, it is that we are one. Hear me on this. It is not a fight between the private sector middle class and the private sector or the public sector middle class. That is the goal. That is the goal of the Koch brothers, Art Koch, Glenn Beck, and the right-wing pundits and politicians. They want to divide us. We cannot let that happen. I want to say something for a minute to my Tea Party friends across the street. I want you to hear me. As a fellow American, I want you to hear me. We are your neighbors.
We are your neighbors.
We sit next to you at church.
We sit next to you at church.
And our kids play Little League Baseball together.
Our kids play Little League Baseball together.
You see, we share many of the same hopes and dreams. We want good schools, safe neighborhoods, clean air, and safe drinking water. We want healthy communities and a vibrant place where people want to live, work, and raise a family and see their hopes and dreams come together. This is what makes America great. What we're seeing now here in North Carolina is a Republican leadership who ran on a platform of jobs, jobs, and more jobs.
Where are they?
Where are the jobs?
Having spent their first month in office, what have we seen? Attacking the federal health care reform bill. Cost to the taxpayers of North Carolina, $65 million. Requiring photo ID for the right to exercise your vote. Cost to the taxpayers of North Carolina, $20 million. school vouchers for religious and private and charter schools. We don't have an estimate on the cost of that yet. Now, they did, in all fairness, create a few jobs. They got rid of all the former legislative staffers, and at salaries of $60,000 to $120,000 a year, they put their patronage friends in those positions in the leadership at taxpayer expense. But this is not the fault of Republicans alone. And as Dana alluded to you in his opening, he talked about in 1959 when it was not Republicans. This is not a party issue, folks. Democrats passed the bill that prohibits collective bargaining. Since that time, it is Democrats that have refused to bring up collective bargaining on the floor of that building over behind us for a vote. So it's not an R or a D or right or left issue. It's an American issue. It's American value. And we can't do better than that. I got just a couple more minutes, and I want to tell you something about the fact that what public employees in this state have been doing. Rather than sitting here and eating off the fat of the lamb from the taxpayers, 4 months ago, SEIU members here in North Carolina sat down and started looking at ways that we could reduce waste, fraud, and become more efficient here in North Carolina.
We're all willing to do it.
We presented to the General Assembly and the Governor 2 weeks ago, well, maybe not quite 2 weeks ago, 27 specific recommendations. I have a copy, and to my Tea Party friends, if you would like a copy, see me, I will give you one. It proposes, if all of those recommendations were enacted, at least $10 billion in taxpayer savings in North Carolina state government.
Yes, we can.
We take pride in the work we do. We take pride in the services we deliver. Throughout this country, from Wisconsin to Ohio to North Carolina, public sector workers not only serve their neighbors, but they care deeply about the quality of work that they do. The question for each of us is this: do I really, really care about my friends and neighbors who provide these services, or in reality, do I only care about me? That's the question. Victor Hugo once said, "There is no greater power on earth than an idea whose time has come."